Right, it's been a month and a half, I think. I've been in hospital. Probably most of you know I'm undergoing treatment for a big tumour that I had took out at Christmas. So, long story short, over 4 weeks ago, according to the experts, I've had a reaction to the stuff they're giving me. So I ended up in hospital. Picture. Don't think much of the hospital food, but never mind. People are really nice. And me joints, that's another story. But we're not going to diverse on all of that, because you lot are here to see what's been going on. I've been back to work this week. I am absolutely cream crackered. It's only hottest week you can get, really, isn't it? You know, it's one of them. It's just shy of 30 degrees in garage, but hey, she's let me out. So what can you say? I've been tinkering. So yes, wonderful people in the hospital. Again, can't fault them. I'm not going to go on hormones, things, steroids, whatever the heck, so they say. I keep pressing back at camera so I can see what I'm doing. All up shit creek. I went down like a bag of spanners and spent about a week asleep, and then they had to bring me round and everything else, and rehydrate me very slowly, because I've only got one kidney, and get me other electrolytes and levels up and all the rest of the stuff that they do, and then say, right, sling it up, everything says you're right. So it's more tests now. I'm being let back on my trial that I'm doing. Yes, I'm trialling for some pharmaceutical company or something that's trying to recognise deformed cells faster. So yeah, I'm trying to do my bit for all the bits that people have done for me. But anyway, yes, so so I have actually been back out here. I'm hobbling around, but I've got a little bit of work done. So I'm going to show you. Right, we're now on the workbench. So I'm trying to think back to what I was doing last time, and I think we're doing these mandrel ends, and I said I was finishing them off, and it says do yourself a lifetime, and I said, well, we'll see how long mine goes on for. Yes, dark humour, trust me. You've got to. So in the kit they give you 4 wheels. 1, 2, 3, and oh, hang on, 4. So like I say, while I've been doing, I've had the okay to come in the garage and play, because trust me, the therapeutic feeling of watching metal come off as you face things up is absolutely superb. There's nothing like it. Alright, there's lots of things like it, but anyway, we won't go into them. So anyway, these wheels, plus all these spacers, and there was one of the model engineering places was having a bit of a sale on, so these bonded ones, so I bought 3 of what they had in stock, and did some aluminium inserts. Now I've got a little bit of footage because, like I say, I just come here and did stuff, so I've done little bits and not little bit. This is basic turning. Nylon bush, got the mandrel, make sure the mandrel is a good fit, not a loose fit, and then that goes in there. Now we'll get these out of the road. It says not letting anything fall over. Now these, like I say, I've got a bit of footage. I made these spares. That's one for, it's a setting piece apparently. It's supposed to run parallel, but anyway. And I threaded the last of these. These are going to have to be cut down a little bit, and they reckon Loctite on them, so I'll do that a bit further on. But first off, washers to go on the front. Now they give you a size, they give you some paper washers, or I think they call them blotters. For this is for the smaller cup, and then they give you to make your washer a certain size, slightly smaller than the blotter, yet an undercut, a recess, sorry, inside, slightly bigger than the ID. So that kind of covers that. Yet when that goes on there, you know, it's your little spacer is over the washer kind of thing, so it touches it all. And this is to help this and stop it slipping. I mean, it's held on pretty good, but obviously you're not supposed to crank on these things or you crack the bloody wheel. Now it gives you some washers. This one was already bonded on. It tells you you can bond them on, but it doesn't give you, you can see, whoops, he says throwing that one all over the place. That one's obviously different size. It says so many millimeters underneath, but that one's that bloody big. These were just out of pieces of aluminium that I had, and then I worked out how thick these were. Put the spacer in. That sits just under about 1/2 mil to 1 mil underneath the surface of that. So then when that fits in, obviously that's already got the little washer there. That is about a milli underneath, so it's not sticking out, which is the big one for that. That spacer will fit on there because that's already got the paper thing bonded on, and then obviously that goes on there and you nip it up. Obviously too tight, you crack the damn thing. And the blotters, from what I've been reading, help with a little bit of friction to stop them spinning round. I mean, obviously these, you know, you're not going to be taking massive big cuts, but it's all supposed to hold itself in. So it gave you some spacers, blotters, but it didn't give me some for that. So I made some. That was a file, cardboard file, but these are from one of the boxes of a well-known cereal. Other cereals are available, but owing to the fact that these are about the same thickness, these are absolutely spot on. So I made a few. You know, while you sat there bored out your tree, nothing to do, you get your little scalpel out, get your compass set out, draw them out. Like I say, these turned out to be absolutely spot on for the material I needed. You know which one it is, it's the one with the big cockerel called Cornelius. But like I say, you can have cheaper brands, but hey, these are quality. Made out of a quality packet with quality ingredients. So yes, so the packers at the back, or the spacers at the back, are all relative to, because I made all of these, it tells you to make, that one's a little bit, yeah, come on, I've got dodgy hands at the moment and nothing seems to work. That's the next thing off the experts, to find out why my joints are aching like mad. It's the stuff they're giving me, I hope. So anyway, I made all these generic, so all the little mandrels except for these I made, except for that one, them two there, I just had some excess material, so I cut them. I thought, you can never tell, might come in handy for summer, who knows. There you go. So I made all these to save, and a little bit of calculation. So some of these spacers as you can see, are different thicknesses depending on the thickness of the wheel. So the arbors are all generic. These now I think in the drawings they might be made out of mild. It just says varies. I've done them out of aluminium. It's lighter. This thing's spinning round at, I don't know, 3,500 RPM for whatever the heck. So it's lighter. When it's slowing down, it's not got all that inertia. That's my idea, and they'll never get rusty, and there's nothing wrong with using aluminium, and I had some knocking about. So I'm going to assemble these off camera. Like I say, I've got a little bit of footage of doing these, but yes, I'm trying to get back on track. Yeah, unfortunate. Like I say, there'll be a paper washer there, blotter, a paper one. I think that's too big to go in there. Could be that one. Then obviously that, you've got your little recess there, so it's, you know, it touches, if you know what I mean. It's fully surfaced on that paper washer. That's in there. Like I say, some of these will have to be cut down. I'll do them off camera. You don't want to see me doing them, that's ridiculous. Tighten them up. It does recommend a blob of Loctite. Keep them on, and then you've got your wheels complete on harbours. And hopefully, once you've trued them up, and hopefully when I get the bloody thing built, hopefully you can interchange them. Obviously there's the shaft, there's the other mates in half, that goes in there. Like I say, if you remember me making that, that is the drawbar that goes in that end up to the thread. There is then, whoop, nice pop, goes the weasel. That then has, I think we have a little keyway. Oh, sorry, keyway's on the shaft, which is for, that is the driven pulley. Yes, the keyway is somewhere knocking them out. Obviously the spindle with the bearings. I might start to get some assembled. That goes on the end of the shaft. There is, and I've not done it yet, I just thought on then, there is a lock ring that goes on there. So as you can see, with things going on, I haven't fully got up to speed with some things and where I am with bits. So, oh, that's that one. I have to remember where they all go. So I'm going to assemble all them off camera. But anyway, it's let's whiz this up. Oh, there you are. Yeah, it's good to do something. Like I say, it's 29 degrees in here. I'm melting. I am staying hydrated with fluid, juice, nothing else. That's kind of kicked in the head now. But anyway, yes, I'll try and do as much as what I can. But thanks for hanging around and watching, and fingers crossed we'll get some more done soon. See you now. Speeded up footage of me making the front spacers. 6.1mm drill, counter sunk to about 12.5, 13, and I think about 5mm wide. Just left a little bit on for turning around, flicking them up. All of this footage in, boring out, clearance about 0.5 on the mandrel diameter, then a recess which is a couple of milli, I think, just over the eye of the blotter. Okay, so last bit now is I've cut some, I don't know if there's probably some countersink somewhere in a box somewhere, but with the time scale I'm doing this at and everything, I had some of these somewhere else and cut them all down. So what I've done while we were away, I've just, because they said put a bit of you can just stick them on there, because one of them's already got them stuck on. It just stops the damn things falling off. So to give you an idea, I think it's that one. No, it's not. Hang on, that's a spare one. It's this one. I can tell because it's got that in there. Right, give you an idea how this lot then goes together. Obviously slide fit on there. You can see the undercut in there so that it's touching the blotter. I was reading some of the instructions and it says it wants to be a nice slide fit on the nylon, so when it expands it doesn't, you know, and that wants to be a push fit, a hand push fit, so you're not stressing the wheel out. So anyway, that goes on there. It's shy about a millimetre, but that's fine. And then obviously you've got that bit again, that will then press down on the blotter. And it does recommend a little blob of Loctite. I'm going to assemble these hopefully at a later date. I'm just showing you guys. Then obviously see that's kind of revolving at the moment, so you know you don't over tighten these things. I mean that's just finger tight now and it's gripping, and it's supposed to be a little bit more than finger tight, but the paper grips that, and obviously it'll grip that because it's like rough material. That's supposed to be the idea. You don't overstress it, but the paper grips them. A little bit of Loctite, stop it getting undone, and then like I say, that will at some point go in the shaft like so. And then when you undo your drawbar and tap it out, if I've got all of this lot right, that should be fairly true. You can swap over, bang another wheel in, you know, put that back. It should be running fairly true, which hopefully we'll look at sometime in the future. Right, while I'm hobbling about, there's a little locking collar, 407 now, and what it does, it threads on the end of the spindle, well, just about, because that pulley goes on, amongst other things. Like I say, there's a keyway somewhere that goes on there. That goes through there. Then this, when I've drilled it, that goes on there. Well, and then there's a little grub screw, that looks of things, in there that holds it on shaft. And I think you tighten that all up. The little locking ring causes your tension, obviously with your bearings in your spindle. That's why it's got 3 little holes in it, so you can get like a C-spanner on. And I'm assuming you cause your tension, and then while that's locked up with spindle, that'll hold it in as well. It might be a blob of Loctite on thread, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to do that. It's just a simple little collar. It's recessed to fit over there. I have no idea why it's recessed to fit over, whether it's all to do with adding it all up, I've no idea. And I can't see, to be honest, why it should be recessed. It has a thread through it, all the way through it, and this That's probably why it's recessed, because that butts up on the thread, so that kind of like holds, well, it's got to, hasn't it? That's got a butt, that's why it's recessed, you nugget. That's got a hole go on there when, right, that's held in there. That, for all intent and purposes, has got one of them screwed in the end. So when you screw that and that's drawing in there, it's all got to pull it all up, and hopefully, if you've got your maths right and what have you, that will then butt up against there. There should be a thread or two spare, we'll soon find out when it's assembled, and it should hold all of that in place. So anyway, it's got a tap, see if it's any good. I made a knot with it, so because that's the thread, 13B75. It's an arbitrary kind of size, very fine, and you can do it imperial or metric. I did it metric. You do this little locking ring to suit. Right, we'll crack on. Right, now because I've got this little boring bar already set up and it's got the size still in the DRO, well, I've been using two sizes. I've not been doing the tool setting, I've been using absolute and incremental, and just have two basic sizes for what we're doing before. I'm going to still use this. I could drill the the tapping size for the 13.75, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check it out with this because I've already got it set up, so I might as well, and we're then going to just see how the taps. Right, like I said, because I've got a boring bar set up, I'm going to drill it. It should be 12.25 roundabouts. So I'm going to drill it 11.5 and then just take it out with a boring bar. Just over 20.6, it's in fresh air, it's 20.63, so that'll do. I can do it all from this end, tap it, part it off, clean it up. Right, so this should have kept its size from before. Bloody hands are crippling me at the moment. I'm going to hopefully find out if nerves and stuff have been affected. Right, we have 10, 11, 11.85. DRO's reading 11.86. So right, that'll do for reading we got. Take that out now to 12.25, and there's a little recess which I shall go and check on. Blow that off. Now that's supposed to recess in there. Yep, like a in a bucket, but that's what the drawing asked for, and that's what it got. Right, tapping. Seems to have done the trick. And it all polished up now. Right, that's the recess done in there, which goes that way around. I've run the tap back down it just to make sure. It's not bad at all. Like I say, that fits against there. There are sizes, so you know that locks up. But anyway, that's me done for today. This has 3 holes in it, not all the way through, for a C-spanner, but that's me done for the day. I am cream crackered. I'm going to go and try and get this lot done because I am still actually working, and I've got a day tomorrow and then it's back to the hospital for more blood tests, so fingers crossed. If this is at the end or halfway through, who knows. I'll catch you soon.